As someone who's never used a virtual reality headset, I was very eager to try this product and see if it was really as good as pretty much every single reviewer on YouTube said it is. I have never used a virtual reality headset before ever. Not tried one on, not put some on my eyes. So I'm gonna be approaching this review from the perspective of someone who has some pretty high expectations. And whether that's a good or bad thing, I think that's gonna provide a lot of value for all of you guys who are interested in purchasing this product. Please be aware that I purchased this product with my own money. This was not sent to me, this is not sponsored or anything like that. So this is going to be an unfiltered and honest review for all of you guys. The most important thing to take out of this video though is that this is going to be used primarily for PC gaming and specifically sim racing. Because as you can tell, I'm a pretty big sim guy. I have my sim behind me. I love cars. So this isn't going to be a review for those who are going to be using this for, let's say, Batman Arkham, any of their boxing games or whatever you can buy on the Meta ecosystem. This review is going to be mostly for that guy right there. So without further ado, let's get into the review. So I'm gonna start off with the criticisms right off the bat. Let's get it out of the way, and then we're gonna get into the gameplay on the Meta Quest. But I think firstly is the price. At the end of the day, I would have much rather had a lower price tag and not had Batman Arkham than have the entire package when purchasing this product. Quite frankly, I don't like Batman Arkham. It's not my style of game. I'm probably never going to play it anyways either. So for me, that was a zero value added to the entire package of the Meta Quest 3S. Now, the second thing comes down to the lenses themselves on the inside. Now, why is this a bad thing? Well, unlike the Meta Quest 3 that has pretty much an infinite amount of adjustability for your eye spacing, this one only has 3. It's got very narrow, medium, and then wide. Now, while that might sound like enough for most individuals, the reality is this: I struggle a lot to find the perfect sweet spot with these lenses, and I've tried them on all 3. Sometimes I find perfect clarity on one eye, not the other. Other times I notice that it's like the framing is too far out on the edges, so then I have to bring them back to the middle. But that has been one of my biggest criticisms about the headset themselves when actually wearing it and interacting with it in a game. It doesn't also help that these Fresnel lenses also have some rings and reflections when you put them on your head. I've noticed when I'm gaming a couple times that I will see some weird reflections on either eye depending on the scenery that I am using or that I am experiencing in the game. That's a bit of a bummer when you're racing, for example, and you have lots of different reflections coming your way, different lighting. It's a bit of a bummer. Now, the third issue is this guy right here. For you to get the best experience, the Meta app encourages you to have a USB 3.0 connection. That is not the connection that is, or the port that is on your computer, but that is the actual cable itself. It does come with a very small one that you really can't use, quite frankly. But if you want to get a USB Type-C 3.0 connector, that is an add-on. And I wish that people are aware of that or were told that prior to purchasing this headset. Whether or not you are going to be using it for PC or not, this is a big drawback, because now you're gonna have to go and find one, you're gonna have to go and buy one, and then that just added to the overall price tag of this product. That is the third issue that I have with this headset, even before we've gotten into the gameplay. For all of you newbies to the VR world, all of the jitters that you see on the screen is not representative of what I'm experiencing on the headset. It's rather smooth. So AMS2 is known as having some of the best graphics in racing, which is why I wanted to use this as a benchmark, because the thing is, it's still not the best from the perspective of the goggles or the headset. You do have quite a bit of, well, blur. That's really no other way to say it. It's not as sharp when you're looking down into, let's say, the distance. Up close, it's actually pretty darn good. No complaints there. But it's the blurry and lack of quality from far that really does spoil the experience overall. Now, the one thing I will say though, the sensation and the experience you get with the VR is unlike anything you can experience with even a triple monitor setup. This will give you a way more unique experience, especially for games like this, or even Flight Simulator, where it's a first-person view style of game. There's nothing that's going to come even close to that. And I would imagine that even more expensive headsets like the Quest 3 or even the PSVR, which apparently has some of the nicest graphics, will give you an even better experience. But that's where I think this product ends. I don't see the value of spending for us Canadians. Oh, I've overshot this. I don't see the value of us Canadians spending $400 on a product that is average for this type of gameplay. I'm not talking about Batman Arkham. I'm not talking about that popular boxing game that everyone is playing. For that, it's a different story. And even if you're using this product for watching movies, okay, you can get away with it, but it's still not going to be the most amazing experience, if I'm honest. There is still the occasional jittering that you experience, the occasional frame loss, and there's just really no excuse for it in my opinion, especially given that this is only at 72 hertz, which is not all that much. It's in just a little bit higher of a render resolution than what is recommended. So it's not like we're pushing the headset to its max, and it just doesn't really do the best job, all things considered, which is just really unfortunate. Yeah, it's really just a shame that it's not as crisp as it can be. That's really hindering the experience that you get with the 3S. I've never tried the MetaQuest 3. I would only imagine that it's a better headset, obviously. It's 4K, the lenses are pancake lenses. Apparently those are the ones to go with. You have a wider field of view, but if it doesn't really improve the sharpness overall, I don't know if I would 100% go out and spend that much money on a VR headset. If you're fine with having a headset that is not the sharpest, that just gives you that immersion of being in an actual race car and getting that sensation, then sure, get it. It's a cool experience. There's nothing like it, and I can't take anything away from virtual reality as a whole. But what I can say is this headset is simply average. For racing, for sim racing, it's average. And given how we've gotten to the point where technology is so good, that monitors are getting so crisp, and that the overall experience that you can get with a good computer and a good GPU is just second to none, an average VR headset like this one, for me, doesn't make sense. I would say save up the money and try out the MetaQuest 3, which is the more expensive brother of the 3S, or maybe a PSVR, and see what your thoughts are on this. But the combination of the Fresnel lenses with a I think it's just over 1080p, 1920 by 1080p resolution, average view distances, not a whole lot of sharpness or clarity. I don't think for me, it just doesn't make sense. I don't play Batman Arkham, like I said, so $400 essentially for the headset without that USB 3.0 that is so important to delivering an even better connection and experience. For me, I don't see the value of this headset, and I'm being dead honest. You can completely disagree with what I'm saying, but in a sea where every single YouTube reviewer is praising this headset, saying how amazing it is, I think that they're kind of overhyping it in my opinion, based on my experience with the 3S over the last couple days. So there you have it, the MetaQuest 3S. What would I give this out of 10? In my opinion, I would give it nothing more than a 6 out of 10 for the purpose that I am using it for. Now, if you're someone who's going to be using it for watching movies, for maybe playing Batman Arkham or some of the other games that are on the Meta store, then definitely something for you to consider. It definitely has its place in the market for those types of games. But for sim racing, for those who are going to be using it for flight simulator, for example, I would recommend saving your money and maybe getting a Meta Quest 3, as the quality and the lack of sharpness that you get with this headset at distance just really spoils the experience overall. And again, I have put countless hours trying to tweak the resolution settings in the Meta app, the resolution on the game, and all of these things using the debug tool to get that nice crisp sharpness has been exhausting. And quite honestly, hours and hours later, have I really gotten that result that I'm looking for? The answer is no. So if you found this video helpful, consider leaving a like and maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. It's a small one, but we do pretty much reviews on everything, whether it's technology or maybe some other household items, or maybe even cars if you guys are interested at some point later on. Do consider subscribing to the channel. If this video helped you in any way, or if you have like a Meta 3, for example, or a PSVR 2, do leave your comments in the comment section below. It's going to be really helpful to other people who are looking at purchasing their first VR headset, for example, or even for someone like me who is considering potentially giving the Meta Quest 3 a try to see if it's that much better than the 3S. Anyways, hopefully this video provided you with some value. Have a good one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.